Hello YouTube, Caroline here. Today is the 25th of August 2021. It is exactly 3 years to the day that I put the first video on this channel, and it has been around 14 months since I recorded one. The last video that I put here about value bets was in July 2020. So with regards to my absence over all this time, all I'm going to say about that is real life happened. End of. So I'm not going to elaborate. Basically, I had a break from YouTube. So when I was last here, I was involved in 3 different things. I started off this channel doing matched betting, and that was how I got into the whole field of sports betting in general. And over a period of a couple of years, I went through doing that in quite a lot of detail with both my own accounts, and also I had the accounts of a family member sometime later that I was able to use. And I completely exhausted both of those sets of accounts. And when I say exhausted, I mean that eventually the bookies gub me, so they restrict me from future promotions, or they stake restrict me so that I can only bet with a few pennies, and basically there's no more money to be made out of those accounts. Now at some point last year I was intending to start again with a 3rd set of accounts, and I started doing a series on here, this match betting in 2020 series, where I was planning on starting over. But the person whose accounts that I was going to be using, she pulled out at the last minute, so it never happened. However, now I'm in that same position again. I have a different friend who is willing to lend me her identity so that I can start again. But I'm interested to know how things will have changed, because we have had the whole pandemic in between now and then, and things changed. And even over the past few years, matched betting in general seems to be getting less lucrative. You know, when I started in 2018, even then people were saying, oh, match betting's dead, it's not as good as it once was. And people seem to say that every single year. So what I think I'm going to do with this channel is the core thing that I always did was my profit diaries. You know, I've got some down here. The last one that I did was here, number 26. I've made just over 8,000, which is good money, you know. But I don't think that kind of money is available anymore. So rather than sort of continue those diaries from where I left off, I think that would be a little bit misleading, really. Because new people coming to the channel would think it's still possible to make that kind of money, and maybe it is, but I doubt it. So I think what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be starting off with just starting from scratch, clean slate, starting from zero, and seeing how much money I can make at the end of 2021 with a brand new set of accounts. And I will be doing both match betting and casino. One of the things that I've noticed has changed is that there's a lot more emphasis now on casino. Now, this was starting last year. I had signed up to a service called Team Casino. I think I made about £1,300 with it. But it's very up and down. There's a lot of variance. But I was used to that from some of the other work that I was doing, which was value betting. And I had started to do a series on that. Now, value betting is basically gambling with some kind of edge. So you're placing bets which are designed to make money over the long term. You know, there's some kind of value there. And I started doing this series, and what I really wanted to do was kind of teach people how to do their own value bets and so forth. But my own experience with value betting has changed. And I'm no longer going to be continuing with the series. One of the reasons for that is that, honestly, I don't think people want it. The kind of audience that I have on my channel are people that are looking to make easier money, really. Match betting is easy money. Value betting isn't. It's hard. There's lots of risks associated with it. And it's just not easy. And also, I'm not doing it in the way that I was a year ago. So some of you might know, but I'm not sure if I've ever mentioned this on the channel before, but my background is actually in software development. I've been a programmer for many years. And as I was getting getting really more and more into value betting, and I was doing all sorts of things with working with tipsters, using automated types of software, and also looking into my own strategies. I basically came up with something which combined both my software skills and my betting experience. And something that I started to do late last year, this was around September time, I came up with an idea of a strategy which I could use, which I could automate. So rather than placing bets manually, which is very time consuming, I found some software which allowed me to do automation, and I developed some bots which would place automated bets. And then what I also did was I developed my own software to analyze all of the betting data gathered by the automated bots to come up to kind of like dig into that software and find profitable patterns. And basically, I have been running my own software since November of last year. It's still running. It's still looking for profits. I'm not yet a millionaire. So I'm pretty sure it's going to find some kind of profitable angles fairly soon. It looks like it's getting there, but it's not going to make me rich. And it is something that obviously I will never ever share on here. I couldn't anyway, because I've written my own software. It's bespoke software for me to analyze my own betting data from my own strategies, which I came up with after years of doing this stuff. So I'm not going to talk about value betting anymore on here. And the third thing that I've been on and off involved with for years is trading. So I have tried football trading, and I have tried racing trading. I've gone back to football. I've gone back to racing, backwards and forwards, backwards and forwards. Basically, I suck as a trader. I really, really suck. I'm still trying. I am still, every now and then, I'll come back to the racing trading. Racing in particular interests me. Football is no good because simply the times at which the football on doesn't suit my lifestyle. You know, evenings and weekends, I'm usually out doing other things. Whereas racing during the day, in the afternoons, that suits me much better. So it's something I look at. But, you know, I had rebranded this channel from Match Betting Newbie to Sports Betting Newbie because I wanted to focus more on the other things I was doing, both the value betting and the trading. But the thing is, with the value betting, as I've just explained, it's not really much for me to talk about on here. I don't think it's anything that people want, and I'm just not doing it in a way that can be taught to other people. And as for the trading, I still suck at trading. So I'm not going to be talking about something which I suck at, because all I'd be doing is teaching you how to lose money. So if at some point I get better at trading and I actually start to be able to make consistent profits with it, then I will talk about it. But for now, going forward, I'm going to go back to sort of like square one and be talking about match betting. So in terms of the actual channel, I'm not going to have any kind of like rigid guidelines. You know, I'm not going to say, oh, I'm going to be posting a video every Mondays. Like I used to do a profit diary religiously on Mondays, this kind of thing. But, you know, basically I'll be doing things as and when. Now, one thing that I have talked about before, and I will talk about again, is multi-accounting. So I did a video last year about how to go about multi-accounting, and that video was actually not that great because I was taking over the accounts that somebody else, a family member, had started. And a lot of the problems that I had were based on trying to take over accounts which he had created in his name, using his phone number and his email address. I'm not doing any of that this time. And that's not useful for you guys. You know, if you're likely to start off with a new set of accounts, then you're going to be doing it from scratch, hopefully. So I will be doing multi-accounting based purely on a mobile phone. So I won't be using a separate PC. It's going to be a lot simpler to do. And I think it's going to be something that is useful for you guys, because one thing about match betting is it has a time limit. There is a shelf life to it. You know, you can only continue to use a bookmaker as long as they number one, they continue to give you offers, and number two, they allow you to bet with decent stakes. Once one of those two things goes, or when both of them go, you really can't get any more money out of that bookmaker. Now, some accounts, I mean, I still have my Bet365 account from 3 years ago. And there are a handful of accounts I still have, but the ones that I have are generally ones where I don't get offers anymore. Paddy Power was one that I kept for 2 years, which amazed me. Sorry, if my voice is going, it's because I've got a bit of a cold. But most of my accounts just completely dried up. And the same with my friends' accounts, the second set. I exhausted them all. So yes, the only way really to consistently make money, year after year after year with match betting is to go bug your friends and family and borrow their identities. And it's something that nobody on Facebook likes to talk about. And this is something I've mentioned before. The only other person that I know on YouTube who talks about this stuff is a guy called Arb Hunter. And I love his work. You should definitely check out his channel. So yeah, that's about it for this one. Once I start getting my new set of accounts set up, I'm going to just start doing videos like I did before. I'll be talking about the profits I'm making, how I'm going about setting up accounts, the offers I'm doing, the software I'm using, all of that stuff. So basically starting from scratch, match betting at the end of 2021, post-pandemic. One thing I just want to finish with actually is I had a look at the statistics on this channel, and I was really quite surprised to find that people are still subscribing and commenting. I had a comment yesterday actually saying, "You're still match betting?" And I said, funnily enough, I'm going to be coming back to it. So thank you to those people that have continued to engage with the channel, even though I've been absent for over a year. So hello to the new subscribers, and I hope there'll be some value coming for you in the coming months. Thanks very much for watching, guys.